Hello again. In this lesson, I will talk a bit about templates in Revit, so without further ado, let's launch Revit and check out the predefined settings. This is the interface of Revit 2019. Just like AutoCAD, you can start a new project or open existing ones from the File tab. New and open existing. You can check out the recent files from here also. Templates in Revit, like other applications, are simply predefined settings that simplify your work instead of starting from ground zero every time you start a project. Let me show you what that means. Well, if I choose a default metric that comes with Revit, you can see the two levels created for you here. You have elevation views in 4 sides, but in here you can see there is no predefined schedules. That means in such a case, you have to create your schedules from ground zero. Let's see another template. The emphasis of this template, as its name indicates, is for construction. Here you have additional levels like top of foundation wall, top of footing and top of slab. You can see those levels from the elevation views. If I double click on the east elevation, you can see all the levels arranged here. Of course, you can manipulate the elevation levels to fit your needs after. We will see that in the later videos, but most importantly, here you have a predefined schedules and quantities. If you expand it using this plus icon, you can see all the schedules. You have the door quantity schedule, electrical fixture quantity, and down here you have structural beams and bracing quantity, and a whole lot more. Well, how this works in Revit. First, what you need to know about BIM or Building Information Modeling is, it has a database, and every time you make any change to your project, Revit, which is a tool for BIM, will update the database and reflects your every movement in every view. To see how that works, let's put my first level and door schedules window side by side. Let's double click on both views, and to open both views side by side, go to View, and from the Windows panel, hit Window Tile. From here, create a wall, go to Architecture tab, and from the Build panel, choose Wall. Don't worry, we will see how to create a wall later in the tutorial. Now I'm just clarifying how Revit operates behind the curtain. Create the wall by clicking to start and click here to end. And in the door schedule, you see no change, but take a look when I start adding doors to my project. From the build panel again, choose door and hover over the wall for the door to appear and click to create. And you can see an automatic update to the door schedule. That's the advantage of having predefined settings in Revit. My advice in this case is to start with a template from Autodesk like this one and tweak it to fit your purpose. And later you can save it as a template. For example, usually I work with metric system and I want the units to be meters instead of millimeters. And every time I start a project, I don't want to go to manage and change project units. So what I can do is change the units to meter, and I can give it a 2 decimal place rounding. Click OK. And later you can save that as a template by going to Files tab and Save As and hit Template. When you do this, remember to check out the options because this fills your folder with backup files. So hit Options and change the maximum backup to only 1. And hit OK. And the change that you did become part of the template now. This is a short introduction to templates, and in the next lesson, I will import my AutoCAD files to Revit and start my project. And in the end, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications for an upcoming tutorials.